I think all the characters are formed separately from each other. Sometimes I know, with the men I write that I tend to have these heroes with these outdoor types, and they work in the Badger Centre, or they're a botanist, or they do all these sorts of things. But I hope that they're all formed individually. I think you, as a writer, you will put in bits of yourself into characters, and sort of feelings that you have and situations that you understand. For instance, Frank in Happy Birthday and all that, I think there's actually a huge amount of me in him, but that people probably wouldn't have realised in the way that some of the ways that he sees things, although it probably seemed like the complete opposite. I think a lot of it is also observation and the little things that you notice about people. Guy, who's the central character in A Bit of Earth, he started to form in my mind when I just met a friend in the street and just noticed what his eyebrows looked like, and that they just looked like these etiolated little seedlings that had been left too long on a windowsill, and the character of Guy sort of started to grow up from seeing my friend's eyebrows. And then years later, well, a few years later, after I'd finished it, I was talking to a girl I met who'd been to my old school, but years later was younger than me. And my favourite biology teacher was still there, and I just suddenly thought, Mr. Grundy. And I realised without even thinking of it, I'd put a lot of this nice biology teacher, Mr. Grundy, into my character Guy, and I just hadn't even realised. I know I tend to give characters interests that you sort of explore other lives with your characters. And there's lots of, I would love to have been a botanist. And so I think quite often you give characters jobs and personas of things that you would like to do, like Flora in Happy Birthday and all that. I would love to be that organised and that, good at putting everything in order, but I'm not. And I'd love to be a botanist, and so I think you were sort of trying lots of different things. One thing, I think you have to write about people that you understand, whether they're contemporary characters or characters, 100 years ago or whatever. So in that way, they have to be connected to you, but they don't have to be you, and they don't have to be you just sort of dressed up in different clothes.